Tippy time my damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. I've seen a bunch of you roly-poly hunters out there converting back to that arc class, as when using the classic exotics like Assassin's Cowl or the Light's Handshake on Prismatic, it just doesn't have that same devastation. We might still have that single target damage, but without that lethal current aspect, we just don't have enough area of effect damage to punch away those baddies one dude at a time. Enter the Balance of Power. Its perk Double Down grants our Threaded Spectre added duration from 12 seconds to 20 seconds. Increased durability to keep our foes distracted for longer. Upon detonation, we also get 2 additional thread links. At standard, the Threaded Spectre does 46,800 each. This does 71,900 each. And whilst you are near your Threaded Spectre, you don't appear on the radar. It's like being visible and invisible at the same time. Using that classic combo of punch dodge, we are less likely to be shot at as they attack our shadow clones. With the Winter Shroud aspect, our foes won't be able to run away from that green torrent coming their way. This pairs with Facet of Courage, as our arc melee does an additional 10% damage to foes affected by our darkness debuffs. This is primarily that slow effect, but our grapple melee also creates Unravel. When all stacked up, our melee goes from 8,685 to 124,000 against frozen targets. This is a 1,431% improvement. I'm triple stacking both heavy-handed and my recuperation mods to constantly heal myself. But there's still plenty of wiggle room to swap out some for surges and such for damage phases, as we are also running that Facet of Blessing. Our melee final blows start health regeneration, and whilst transcendent, this also heals both you and nearby allies. I'm using the Silence and Squall, pick whatever you like, but I would recommend either the Tether or the Squall. As with Purpose, we get a buff off of those orbs based on our super class. And both Overshield and Frost Armor have that good 10-second timer. We're punching everything in sight, run Bravery, our melee kills give us Unravel rounds. Again, the more particles floating around the better, as this will make our melees hit that much harder. I'm using the Breachlight as it is a strand weapon, it's got Swashbuckler and Sidearms Unstop. Pair that with the Threaded Blast perk in the artifact. When shooting those tangles, we get those big bada boom. Bravery will also give us those volatile rounds off of our grenade kills. I'm running Avoid Sudden Death. I run it with Trench Barrel to get up close and personal, which we constantly are, any more so, and my vacation home would be in some taken puss. So I'll need some protection and not the rubber kind. Facet of Protection grants us a 15% damage resist whilst surrounded. This is again buffed whilst transcendent. I'm not currently sure by how much, but if you do know, feel free to let us know down below. We're also going to be using the Radiant Orbs and Amped Up in the artifact, so not only do we shoot harder, but we'll also tank another 30% damage. And with Shield Crush, we tank another 22% from our Frost Armor, and we gain a 25% harder hitting melee. And whilst amplified, which we always are because we're always punching mofos, our grenades recharge faster and also hit 25% harder. And with Transference, these are again increased whilst transcendent. Our last piece of that puzzle is Devotion. When we defeat targets afflicted by a strand or stasis debuff, we are granted bonus light transcendent energy. This will help balance out those light and dark transcendent bars so they hit 100 around the same time. There will be a dim link in the description down below, or feel free to pause here for all my armor stats, mods, artifact and fragments. This build gave me all those same gooey feelings that I had with my old Arc Assassin's Cowl build, whilst doing great AoE damage, and despite being visible, they never saw me coming. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy time my damies, what a tie.